run for their money, but having made just a couple of moves in the transfer market during the summer, there are still doubts that the Parkhead squad is strong enough. They opened their campaign at Kirkcaldy in the first of 2 matches in 5 days against Raith Rovers. Jimmy Nichols' team were given a big reception by the home support today, First Division champions and Coca-Cola Cup holders. Let's hear how they lined up from commentator Jock Brown.
There's no Stephen McInnesby, Ronnie Coyle, Jason Dare or Alec Taylor in the Raith Rovers team. They're all injured. But Jim McInally is fit to general the side, and Barry Wilson is able to return on the flank. McInally will have a vital scavenging role in midfield, coping with the passing craft of John Collins and the runs of Phil O'Donnell, with Barry Wilson and Tony Rougier providing pace on the flanks, both in attack and defence. Celtic are without the suspended Tony Mowbray, but John Hughes is fit to partner Tom Boyd in defence. Paul McStay is still absent from midfield through injury. Peter Grant is likely to sit in a holding midfield role to allow John Collins to create and Phil O'Donnell to support the front with long runs. It's an attacking formation, with Pierre van Hooijdonk being supported on each side by Simon Donnelly and Andreas Thom. The speculation surrounding the possible transfer of Stevie Crawford has come to nothing. He's happy to stay at Starks Park, at least for the moment, despite making his international debut against Ecuador and Japan in May. And trying to ensure he does no damage to Celtic, the centre-half John Hughes, who completed his dream move from Falkirk during the close season. The transfer fee is still to be determined. The referee is one of our up-and-coming officials, Mike Pocock from Aberdeen. Well, something new from the Celtic ranks. Calvin huddled to finalise their preparations for the match. A new league season starts with a capacity crowd here at Starks Park. A beautiful playing surface. And Andreas Thom setting off straight away to cause problems for Raith Rovers in defence. Julian Brunel lets that run. Well, Andreas Thom, Celtic's most expensive signing, £2.2 million from Bayer Leverkusen. And showing his sharpness here and awareness, lofting that beyond Scott Thompson and just wide of the post. That's Ali Graham. Crawford. Cameron makes the run. Boyd holds him up and then wins the tackle. The throw goes to Raith Rovers again. That's Crawford. First time effort from Cameron. Now that was a reasonable chance of dropping ball at the edge of the penalty area. Little Colin Cameron, I'm sure, will feel he might have done better with that. Came from the head of Crawford. There was space here for Cameron to measure that and try to get the volley on target. Collins forward. This is Donnelly. Collins again. Now McKinley. Tackled well by Kirkwood. Here's John Collins. Faced by Wilson. Hooijdonk with a layoff for Thom. Determined play there by Thom. He wants a corner kick. He's not going to get one. Well, he was trying to engineer himself into a good shooting position there. Almost made it. The layoff from Van Hooijdonk. Look at the way he checked inside here. The ball didn't sit kindly for him. Boyd to Grant. Hustled instantly there by Cameron. The error was made. That's Crawford. Now Sinclair. Here's Rougier. Trying to get in his stride there. That's great running by Rougier. Towards Cameron it goes. There's Graham. Chances there for Raith Rovers inside the box. Nothing ran kindly for them though. And all created by the pace of Rougier on the left. That's Brunel. No one there for Raith Rovers. Well, a glimpse there of the startling pace of Tony Rougier. He moved brilliantly here away from Donnelly, then raced past John Hughes, looked up, found Cameron with that low cutback. His shot was blocked and broke for Graham, and he in turn was blocked inside the area. Bravely there by Collins. Charge on McInally there by Collins. Free kick quickly taken. Here's Davy Kirkwood. Strong play there by Graham. The advantage will apply as Wilson collects. McInally. Kirkwood. Graham well tackled by Boyd. Here's Crawford. Teeing it up there for Cameron. Great covering play by Vata. Excellent defending by the Albanian international. And Donnelly trying to get away there from Rougier was caught by the Trinidadian. It's a free kick to Celtic. Well, some fine play there by Raith Rovers in the build. A little flick inside by Crawford for Cameron, and it was a terrific saving tackle there by Rudy Vata. Graham to Wilson. Boyd is quick enough to get across there to nip the ball away from Ali Graham, which he does very effectively. Davy Kirkwood with a long throw. Looking for Graham for the flick on. He's well beaten there by Hughes. Kirkwood again. Headed away from Vata. This is Lennon. Good effort there from Lennon on the turn. Well, Gordon Marshall forced to scramble across there to cut that off. Well, good play here from Lennon. Look at the way he shrugs away from Peter Grant for the shot at goal. Awkward bounce. Interception made by McKinley, very well timed. That's Collins. Now Grant. He has Donnelly breaking on the right. Tom goes off on a diagonal run to the outside right position. Donnelly again. Collins has found space. Van Hooydonk. The Raith Rovers defence gripping very effectively there. Grant wins that back from Lennon. Here's Collins. Now McKinley. Sinclair a bit casual. It's a great effort there from Tom. Brilliant shot on the turn. The most relieved player in the stadium is Davy Sinclair. It was his error which gave the chance here from McKinley's cross. There should have been no problem. It broke off Sinclair. Look at this. On the turn, the shot with such power. O'Donnell. Sinclair in quickly on Van Hooydonk. Sinclair again. Cameron turning neatly. Playing into the gap for Rougier. A chance for Raith Rovers. Great play by Rougier and a splendid save from Gordon Marshall. Well, excellent play again from Raith Rovers, and the pace of Rougier is so troublesome. Well, you can see quite clearly what Colin Cameron had in mind when he took possession inside the Celtic half. Played that through the gap there for Rougier, under pressure at great pace. Gordon Marshall timed his approach very well indeed to make an excellent block. There's Grant. Gordon miscontrolled that, allowing Donnelly to step in. Put in by Vata. Here's Van Hooydonk again, trying to set himself for a shot. O'Donnell challenged just in time by Kirkwood. Good play there by Thompson. Well, a vital stage of the match, inside the closing minute of the first half. And Pierre Van Hooydonk, you can see him here trying to get the ball down to have a shot at goal. Went there to O'Donnell, and it was Kirkwood's challenge which is so important. Headed by Graham. Wilson using his acceleration there to try to get to the ball. He's tackled firmly by McKinley. Here's Ali Graham towards Cameron. And the cover provided there by Donnelly on Rougier was very important indeed. And a very impressive first half. Tony Rougier catching the eye. He had the best chance of the first half. Through 1-on-1 and Gordon Marshall couldn't get the ball beyond the big keeper. But he certainly has set this game alight. And Celtic have their work cut out at this stage. At half-time, it's Raith Rovers 0, Celtic 0. The Raith Rovers start the second half, perhaps reflecting in a first half which they dominated for long spells, but failed to cash in, and that might be a costly aspect of the match for them if Celtic settle a bit more as they progress in the match, because it's been difficult going for both sides in attack. The defence is so well organised. There's Harry Graham at full stretch, nodding behind, complaining he's been pushed by Tosh McKinley. The referee's having none of that, and it's a goal kick to Celtic. Well, chances have been few and far between. Tony Rougier having the best for Raith Rovers. Andreas Thom creating one for himself for Celtic. Still only one change made in terms of personnel at half-time. That was by half-time, and that was the introduction of Danny Lennon for Steve Crawford, injured early in the match for Raith Rovers. Graham winning that well. Here's Lennon. On the far side is Rougier. Two players face him instantly. Donnelly's the first. He's beaten. Now Vata. Still Rougier heading for the byline. Well, a little spinning there away to Gordon Marshall, but he's full of confidence and may have another chance here to take possession from the throw to Raith Rovers. Julian Broddle wants to involve Rougier as much as he can. Here's Cameron coming off Hughes. Broddle again. Rougier with the back heeler. Broddle is quick to get there. It's away from Donnelly. Far post ball. That's for Wilson. Good play by Julian Broddle on the left, but Barry Wilson unable to take full advantage. Well, the understanding of Broddle and Rougier is certainly proving to be very effective for Raith Rovers on this left touchline. Rougier's little flick on, read well by Broddle. Donnelly trying to get back in terms. Confident play there by Broddle, and a very good deep cross for Wilson. The tackle came from Dennis. Donnelly screening the ball from Broddle. Collins. The header there attempted by Thom. It was won by Dennis. Van Hooydonk. Hefty tackle there by Rougier, and there's trouble for the new Raith Rovers player. Well, he's shown everything this afternoon, Tony Rougier. He's shown terrific pace, great close control, dribbling ability. And now he's shown another side to the game with a very hefty tackle on Pierre Van Hooydonk. Free kick in a very dangerous position here for Celtic, taken by Vata. There's Van Hooydonk! A great chance for Celtic. The big Dutchman can't believe that. And Jimmy Nicholl, I'm sure, will be furious when he sees the gap which was left there for Van Hooydonk to exploit. Look at that, no challenge of any kind. And that really should have hit the corner. Vata towards Collins. That's for Van Hooydonk. Good first touch. Space for O'Donnell. That's for Grant. A great chance here for Celtic. Well, the best concerted move of the match from Celtic, I reckon. Superb play coming from a deep position in midfield. Van Hooydonk picking out Phil O'Donnell with that excellent pass. Grant made the run inside. O'Donnell picked him out, but Grant couldn't control that on the run. Here's Grant. Van Hooydonk making space for himself well and hitting a good shot. Scott Thompson bang in line there to receive that, but it's good play here by Van Hooydonk. Simon Donnelly the decoy. One thought in mind now, to test the keeper, which he certainly did. This is Van Hooydonk. Phil O'Donnell on the outside. There's the pass. Well, O'Donnell was certainly prepared to be in his left foot there in that run. Good support play by O'Donnell. Came a long way to back up Van Hooijdonk here. The pass was a good one. First touch not quite what he wanted. Possession remains with Raith, and they headed away this time by Boyd. And there's Kirkwood once more. Grant very determined. Van Hooijdonk making space for himself. Grant to Tom, he's onside. Kirkwood goes into the tackle, that's a bad one. Well, Kirkwood tried to suggest that Tom died. Well, I think that does him less than credit. The German certainly appeared to be fouled there. Impeded clearly on the way past. Hughes and Bata in the area. A chance for Bata there for Van Hooijdonk. He scored! Celtic are in front with just 11.5 minutes left. The free kick does the damage, but Rudy Bata's initial header was miscued. It's a lucky break there for Van Hooijdonk, who was suspiciously nearly offside. Sean Dennis perhaps in line. A very good header though. And Collins flooding it in. Bata found space. The header was well wide of the target. Van Hooijdonk reacted superbly with the header. Relief for Tommy Barnes. McInally. Lennon. Here's Van Hooijdonk again. Now Brian McLaughlin. And Dennis goes in very, very late, and there's on odd occasions when Sean Dennis appears to lose his composure. That was one of them. Well, Celtic doesn't like to be beaten, and it looks as though he may be on the losing side this afternoon now. Making for the byline. McInally could do nothing else except concede a corner kick. Corner kick taken short there by Collins to McKinley. Collins making certain he's not offside. A good cross. Almost an own goal. Came off Dennis. Relief for the captain of Raith Rovers there. Difficult cross to control this. Whipped in very, very well indeed. And it came off Dennis very awkwardly indeed. Jim McInally, who with an injury out before the match, limps off. And he is replaced by Robert Rayside. Bata's header. This is McLaughlin. Collins demanding the ball. That's for Tom. Good ball in. Van Hooijdonk. Grant. Good goalkeeping by Thompson. His positioning was quite superb there. Well, a good build-up again from Celtic. They now have the tails up, going for the kill. Rayside in central defence. Sean Dennis has been pushed forward to join Ali Graham in attack, so we can see some aerial bombardment later in the match from Raith Rovers, I suspect. This is Lennon. Roddle. Cross is whipped in, looking for Graham. Marshall is there. It's a good catch. Well, another very good piece of play by Celtic in the attack there. When Andreas Tom went to the byline, whipped that across, Van Hooijdonk teed it up for Grant to try to steer it in the corner, but just look at the positioning of Scott Thompson. There's McKinley. No free kick there as Celtic break once more. That's for Tom. He's on his own here. What can he do with this? Against Sinclair, then against Broddle. Still in possession. You lose it running. There's Tom. It's into the side netting. Terrific play by Andreas Tom. Well, electric strike play. He was all on his own and he knew that. Look at the way he takes on the defence here by himself. The break of the ball from Sinclair, only faces Broddle there. Goes outside him, then goes outside Raith's side. And the shot at too narrow an angle. That's off the head of Raith's side for a corner kick to Celtic. So we're into stoppage time now. And Celtic ending the match deep inside Raith territory. I'm sure will please Tommy Burns, the manager. That's the indication from John Collins about where the corner kick may go. Loughlin comes short, the final whistle goes, and Celtic has started the season with 3 points in a very hard-fought victory. Pierre van Hooijdonk was the player who scored the crucial goal in the 79th minute, reacting very swiftly to a miscued header by Rudy Bata to power the ball beyond Scott Thompson. It was a performance in the second half which would have pleased Tommy Burns, the Celtic manager, but in the first half he will be reflecting that Raith Rovers looked the better side for long spells, and Jimmy Nicholl undoubtedly feel a little bit aggrieved at the final result. But Celtic are the winners as Raith Rovers 0, Celtic 1.
To be honest, we're disappointed in the performance, but I think football matches nowadays are all dependent on the result. It's unfortunate the way the game has went. Everything hinges on whether you win the game or lose the game. Today I felt, to be fair to Raith Rovers, I felt they made it very difficult for us. They worked very hard, they were very positive in their approach to the game. And they weren't going to be standing about watching us bringing the ball down and make nice passes. They weren't prepared to see that. And it knocked one or two of our players out their stride. But to be fair to our lads, I felt, the longer the game went, we seemed to settle a wee bit. And I think maybe we created one or two chances second half. But overall, I think we're probably possibly a bit lucky,
Pierre, your first league match with your new striking partner, Andreas Tom. How do you feel the partnership is working?
Today it wasn't good, but we showed in the pre-season games that we can do well, but yeah, not every game. And today was one of the games that it wasn't working very well.
What made it more difficult today?
Today I think it's an away game. You play Raith Rovers away, and yeah, the park is very tight. The supporters are very fanatic, and yeah, then you must play a very good performance as a team, and we didn't play well, so we made it difficult for ourselves.
In the first half, I thought they took a game to Celtic, got him behind them a few times. Tony Rozier had a great chance to put us one up, and I was half-time. I was delighted with them, Second half, the way the second half was going, Celtic got more possession. Weren't really threatening us, but we weren't really threatening them either, So I thought the way the game was going, all right, our lads have worked hard, and let's hope we get a point out of this, because it really didn't look like scoring in the second half. And it was just a matter of containing Tom and Big Hooijdonk and making sure we get a point out of it,
You did play though very positively, and after experiencing the Premier Division the last time, was there some temptation perhaps to sit in a bit more and look for a point?
No, definitely not. No, we've got a few wingers in the club now. We're determined we're going to try and get the best out of them, and especially at home. There's no point. We may change things around a bit away from home, but not at home. We can't do it. And if you start talking about pressure and worrying about what's going to happen to you, and so we won't play the way in August, you've got no chance, because there are 35 games to go on. I'm certain that we're going to win more games than we did 2 years ago, and we'll only do it by having young attacking players who are full of enthusiasm, full of running.
Peter, a winning start for Celtic. Tommy Burns said that he was a bit disappointed with the performance. What was the view in the dressing room afterwards?
Yeah, he was disappointed, but the bottom line is we won 1-0. We get 3 points and we're off to a great start. The players, as you say, were all disappointed. We never put on a performance for the fans. But, as I say, I'll accept the 3 points any day.
Derek, Celtic drew so many games last season that to nick the points is maybe a new experience for them, and that's what they've got to do if they're going to challenge Rangers.
That's the bonus for them today. Peter's right. I mean, it's all right saying you didn't play well. Last year when they didn't play well, they didn't win the games. They won the game 1-0, so you just got to accept 3 points. That is the bottom line.
Pierre van Hooijdonk got the goal in the cup final, and he got them off to a good start this season as well with a good far post header. Well,
he did. I mean, when the free kick came in from John Collins, it was a bad header by Rudy Bata, has to be said. He was in the right place at the right time, and he managed to sneak it in at the back post with Granty on his back there. But a lot of the Raith defenders were saying, was he offside? Well, I think we can show from the camera behind, when the ball's actually headed there, we could see big Sean Dennis standing there on the 6-yard line, and really they're in line, and when you're in line, you're not offside. And when the ball does come over, Sean Dennis actually moves backwards as well. So I think it was certainly a legitimate goal. There was no offside there.
Peter, what is playing with Andreas Thom in the early stages like?
Yes, he's something very special, Rob. He gives us that wee option, the pace. But I think he's proved today again that he thinks about the game, like all great European strikers. And I think we've won a watch with him, to be perfectly honest with you. And once he gets a great understanding between him and Pierre, I'm sure we'll see the best of him. But so far he's been terrific.
Because he's technically advanced, coming from a different style of football, is it sometimes a bit difficult to keep pace with what's happening inside his head?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he doesn't stand up there. It makes it very difficult for the defenders to mark him. You know, that's what makes it special for us, because every time you look up, you always seem to have a pass on, which makes a hell of a difference. And defenders don't know whether to come with him or leave him, because if they leave him, he's quite comfortable to come and take the ball and make options for other players around about him. But if he plays up on their shoulder, he's apt to score a goal.
Derek, let's look at what Andreas Thom did this afternoon, and class written over most of his contributions.
Well, I think there's a lot more to come as well from him, there's no doubt about that. I mean, this is the first 15 seconds of the game. I mean, great vision. He knew the goalkeeper was coming out, tried the little lob, it didn't come off, but you know it's all there. Here he is again when the ball's played into him. He gets inside the box. Look at the men around him. I mean, he's confident enough to try and take them on. In the end, it wasn't the greatest shot, but he's got the confidence to take men on. This, for me, is magnificent. His back's to the goal, 18 yards out. What about that for a turn? That's inches by the post. That's class striking. And here he is. If you don't mark him tight, we're on about that, you've got to mark this man tight, because he's so quick and getting away from defenders.